Hello everybody. Today we are going to see the demonstration of asset management in OpenERP. In OpenERP's asset management, you can store all information related to your assets like how much depreciation can be occurred, depreciation amount based on the selected depreciation method, date on which the asset is purchased, purchase value of the asset, supplier of the asset, etc. You can also see the different states of assets if the asset is confirmed that the depreciation lines can be also posted in accounting automatically. An asset can also be closed manually when depreciation is over, or it can also be closed automatically as per your choice. Okay. We can also see the assets in hierarchy. You can create assets within assets, so there is a possibility of sub assets, and there is also a possibility of creating a report where we can analyze our assets. The first step in asset management is to define asset categories, which can be done in accounting. For example, here two asset categories has been created. Let's see how to define an asset category. To define an asset category, you can put up a name to it. You can associate the journal to store the accounting entries, mostly either purchase or expense journal generally. Third is the asset account, which speaks about the account that will be credited when the depreciation line is posted. The fourth is your depreciation account. This is the account generally same as the asset account, or it can be different for storing depreciation separately. Depreciation expense account which will be debited when depreciation line is posted here. Now you can see that depreciation, we have two methods here. One is your linear and one is your digressive method. Okay. So in linear methods, the depreciation can take place either by number of depreciations or the ending date. So for example, if we are choosing a linear method, then we have number of depreciations or the ending date. So number of depreciation talks about if the time method is number of depreciations, you must specify a number of depreciation lines that will take place. Okay. So we choose the number of depreciation that they are going to take place, and the period between this particular depreciations that will be recorded. Okay. If we choose the ending date here, it will specify what is the length of the single period and what will be the ending date of the depreciation, date on which the depreciation will end. If we choose digressive method here, we need to put a digressive factor. This is used to calculate depreciation lines by multiplying it with the remainder of depreciation value. The next field is pro rata temporis. If this particular box is checked, the first depreciation entry will be calculated from the purchase date of the asset. And the last part is skip draft state. It allows us, if we check this box, assets of this category will be automatically confirmed when created from invoice. So when you create an invoice, you can see that it will automatically create an asset and start depreciation. Once the assets have been, categories have been defined, we can start creating assets. So for example, I create one asset. The name would put about a name for an asset. The category, these are the categories which has been created by us. So for example, we select automobiles. Gross value. Gross value talks about the gross purchase amount of the asset. So for example, we put some value here. Salvage value. Salvage value talks about amount which we plan to have that cannot be depreciated. So for example, let's keep it some value. The residual will be calculated automatically based on gross managed salvage value. The purchase date talks about the date on which the asset is purchased. If this particular asset is associated with some supplier or customer, you can choose a partner here. If this is part of some parent, you can choose a parent as well. And if you want to put some reference, we can put some reference as well. If it's a multi-company environment, you need to choose which company it belongs to and the currency for the asset value. Now we choose the computation method. Now, depends on what method we choose. For example, if we have chosen linear, we need to choose whether we are going to put number of depreciations or ending date. So for example, I choose number of depreciation. If I choose pro rata temporis, it will choose from the purchase date. I choose number of depreciation as 3 and the number of months in a period is 12. So it will take 3 depreciations at a period of, every depreciation will happen in a period of 12 months. Once this has been set up, you can go to the depreciation board where you can click on compute to calculate the depreciation automatically. So you can see that it will show up a table here. So as you can see, based on the computation, following depreciation lines have been selected. Okay, so we selected 3 depreciation at a period of 12 months. As you can see, it has taken from the first day itself, first day of the year to the last day of the year. If we had chosen pro rata temporis, it would have taken the same from the purchase date. Okay. Now on the date of depreciation, this will automatically create a journal entry based on the accounts that we have selected, and then you would be able to confirm those journal entries to post the entries in the accounts. Okay. If we choose some other method, so for example, please note that you need to confirm the asset so that automatic entries would be posted. If it is in the draft state, it will not post any entry. If we choose a digressive method, we need to select what is the digressive factor, what would be the number of depreciations, and then again we can click on compute to make changed computations. So as you can see, based on the digression factor that we have selected, the depreciation has been modified. So whenever we change the depreciation method or we decide for a depreciation method, we can click on computing lines. On the date of depreciation, it will automatically generate entries, and the history of those entries would reflect here, and at any point of time would be able to reconcile or post them in the accounts. Okay. The assets could be analyzed in the reporting section. You can click on asset analysis to analyze these assets. So you can analyze assets based on categories. So for example, here we have assets, we want to group it by asset category, for example. So for example, we have in 44 assets in automobiles, their gross amount, what is the depreciation lines, what is the posted amount, what is the unposted amount. And there are other host of options if you want to group by filters, and if you want to group by company or purchase dates, that can be done. That's all for today. Thank you very much.